In today's video, we're going to talk about new handbag purchases. I am going to give you some tips when you're purchasing new handbags. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And please share the video with those who you know will enjoy the content as well. Okay, you guys, let's get into it. Today, I'm going to give you some tips for purchasing new handbags, and I have about 4 tips I want to share with you guys on today. So I will be referring to my notes in this video so I can make sure I talk about what I need to talk about under this topic of new handbag purchases. Okay? The first tip, which is very important, you need to know the return policy. Okay? You need to know up front what the return policy is. Before you even make the purchase, you need to know the return policy. That is critical, because if you purchase a bag and before you even get it home, the handle falls off or the zipper falls off or something malfunctions, then you need to know what the policy is. Did you buy that bag on clearance where they won't take it back? You need to know. So you do up front. Most of us do not plan on returning our bags. We see something and we like it and we purchase it and we keep it. But then sometimes you take it home, you put your items in it, it just don't work for you. And for whatever reason, you have to turn it. And sometimes the bag may have some imperfections. There may be some defects. Not intentional. It's okay. All the manufacturers deal with this. No one is perfect. None of the manufacturers are perfect. So this is not pointing fingers at one manufacturer. Okay? So you need to know the return policy up front so that you'll know in the event that something does happen, or let's just say you just simply change your mind, you'll know that you can return the bag in that case. Okay? So know the return policy. That is important. Okay? So there's oftentimes when you purchase a new bag, you want to make it last and last by leaving it in a package. You should never do that. Okay? So when you receive your new handbag, it is best to unpackage it immediately, and that gets into step 2. Inspect it. You can't inspect the bag if it's still wrapped in the packaging. You know, we fall in love with our handbags. We look at them, they're pretty. We saw it on the website or we saw it in store and we purchased it and we just wanted to just stay new forever and just keep it in our collection. There's nothing wrong with taking care of your bag. I get that. But you have to take the packaging off to inspect the bag. And I know a lot of ladies do this. A lot of you guys out there do this, but I'm going to say this. You got to remove those labels off the metal hardware, you guys. They've got to come off, because for all you know, it may be scratched up underneath. It may have a dent underneath. You don't know until you take it off. Now, if you take it off and inspect it and you want to put that back on, then that's different. But if you never take it off, then how are you going to know if everything's okay? So put your eyes on it carefully. If you wear glasses and you need to take those off to see better in more detail, put your eyes on it carefully. Because whether you're buying a luxury handbag or a low-end luxury handbag or what's called or known today as a contemporary handbag, you know, guys, I've already told you on my channel that all of my bags are luxuries because they're beautiful to look at. I enjoy having them in my collection and I enjoy using them in my collection. But anyway, that's beyond the point. The point is to inspect the bag. Okay? So you can't inspect it if it's still in the packaging. That's the only way you're going to know if there are not any defects in the bag. Okay? So check it. Look carefully for flaws. Look for defects. For example, loose stitches, scratches, crooked stitching, defects, different things, tears. I've actually purchased a bag before, and I got it out the packaging. I took the packaging off, and there was a tear in the bag. That's why you have to take off all the packaging and look at it. You know, I know there's a tendency to, leave the packaging on, leave it on the shelf for a while. Even if you use the bag for a while, you leave it on the shelf for a while, and you may say, hey, I'm going to sell it now, and then you sell it as a brand new bag, which it is, and then you ship it to someone, and they finally open it, and what if it has a tear on it? Well, you won't know if you didn't see it. So make sure you look over your bag carefully and inspect it. Third thing you want to do, okay, so we've covered 2 items. Know your return policy. Inspect your handbag. The third thing you want to do is carry the bag, because you never know how it's going to work for you if you don't carry it. You always want to carry the bag, because we often want our new things to last, and we want to keep it nice and pretty, keep the packaging on it. This is not good, because we need to wear the bag in order to know how it's going to wear. You don't know. A lot of handbag manufacturers give you a 30-day policy. Some give a 20-day return policy. Some give a 14-day policy, depending on whether you purchase in store or you purchase online. If you purchase the bag online, they may give you a 30-day policy. So you need to wear the bag, carry the bag to see, because that particular bag, it may not be every bag they make, but that particular bag could have some kind of defect to it that you don't know about, and you don't know about it. And when you simply can say, okay, this bag is defective, something's wrong, the handle fell off, I carried it for 5 days and the handle fell off, of course, if you're taking very good care of it, the handle fell off. Well, now you can return it. You're still within your return window, and so you don't have to go through a whole lot of hassle trying to return a bag, or trying to see, okay, it's 2 months later, and I just decided to take the packaging off the bag, and I'm going to carry it now, and then 2 days after I carry it, something pops loose on it. A stitch pops loose. The handle falls off, and you're carrying it, and you calling them, you basically at their mercy. Okay, what are you guys going to do? Yes, bags have warranties, but now, some of them may send you a shipping label to return it. I don't know. It's left up to them at this point, because you're out of that return policy window. You may have to pay the shipping to send it to them to repair, or if you're not located near a local store where they can handle that for you. So if you're located near a local store, then you simply just take it for repairs. But that's why you have to carry the bag, okay? This is not good, because you got to wear the bag in order to determine how the bag will wear. It's just that simple. You got to carry it. So when I get a new bag, my goal is I try to carry that bag and nothing else. So that may mean I don't rotate my bags like I normally would. I generally rotate once a week, because that works for me. I'm thinking about trying to rotate twice a week now, because I do have some bags in my collection, but I generally rotate once a week. But the more organized I get with my items, I'll be able to rotate more. So I want to carry that bag, and I generally, when I buy a new bag, I carry it longer than my normal rotation. Okay, if that makes sense. Because if it's you want to see if it's gonna hold up over time, and that's the only way you can tell. Carry it one time and then sitting it on the shelf to look pretty. Yeah, it's gonna look pretty on your shelf. I mean, they're gorgeous pieces. They're gonna look pretty on the shelf. I get that, but the longer you carry it, the more you're gonna see how the bag is gonna wear over time. Okay, it's just that simple. So make sure you do number 3. And that's carry the bag, okay? Please keep in mind, this is just my opinion. These are not in any particular order, but I do believe strongly in number 1, know the return policy. That's important. Number 2, I believe you should inspect the bag, because you don't want to end up moving out of the return window and having a bag that has issues that you paid for and you can't return it. Number 3, carry the bag. And we're going to get into my last reason. My last new handbag purchase tip would be for you to buy the largest bag that will work for you. Now notice, I didn't say buy the large bag. Some of us don't carry as many items, but I said buy the largest bag that will work for you. Okay, so what that means is you can get the larger version of the bag for a few $100s more oftentimes in your luxury bags and other bags. Oftentimes for the larger bag, it's not that much more to purchase the larger bag. The difference in price is not that much more. It's not significant enough for you to say, okay, well, I'm going to save $100 and I'm going to get the smaller bag. Or I'm going to save $50 and I'm going to get the smaller bag. Whatever the case may be. Or I'm going to save $200 and get the smaller bag. It is worth it to buy the larger bag that's going to work for you. Okay? So what that means is, oftentimes we'll purchase a smaller bag because it's cheaper. We'll save a few $100 and we try to make it work. Okay, we try to make it work. Just like in my video, I purchased the small denim puffer bag and I tried to make it work. Yes, it was cheaper. I purchased it. I thought initially that it was going to work for me, but it did not work. So I ended up purchasing the YSL medium puffer bag, and that bag works perfectly for me. Okay, it works perfectly for me. So there's no issues. If you're interested in finding out more about that bag, there is a video on my channel. You can watch the unboxing of that bag on my channel. But anyway, so just make sure that you are purchasing the bag that's the largest bag that's going to work for you. Okay. Here's another example. Let me just go ahead and pull a couple of examples here. Coach Cassie bag. This is the regular Coach Cassie. Of course, this one has been discontinued. This bag is no longer being made. It is no longer on the website. I really wish Coach would bring back the Coach Cassie bag because it is a very unique bag. It is very practical bag, okay? But the Coach Cassie bag does have a turn lock closure. The Coach Cassie bag does meet my need. On the Coach Cassie bag, there's also a Cassie, I think it's the Cassie 19. I don't own the Cassie 19. I didn't even think about it. I thought about it because it was cute. But it was just a passing thought. Okay, for me personally, the Cassie 19 wasn't going to meet my everyday needs. Now, it's been cute for a travel bag, but I don't need a whole lot of travel bags sitting around collecting dust because I only take trips 3 or 4 times a year. Okay, that's going to be the extent of it. Okay, so I don't need a whole lot of bags to travel with. Well, I'm talking about vacations. I'm not talking about trips out of town here and there, wherever. Okay, I'm talking about vacations. I'm not talking about just taking a trip hour or 2 hours or 3 hours away to go to a store or nothing like that. I'm not talking about those kind of small trips. I don't include those in my small trips. Okay, so this bag was the regular Coach Cassie, and then they have the Coach Cassie 19, which is now out on the Coach website. Okay, cute bag. And you know what almost got me with that bag was that cute little chain dangling across the front. Well, guess what? I can buy me a cute little chain to dangle across this one. But the reason why I went with the regular Cassie is because it met my needs. Just make sure you are buying the largest bag that will work for you. Okay? That's important. Okay? Notice I didn't say the large bag. I said buy the largest bag that will work for you. That may be a small bag. That may be a large bag. For some of us, it may be a tote. But just want to make sure that you're buying the largest bag that will work for you. Okay, so let's review what we talked about today. Today, we've talked about some tips for purchasing new handbags. We talked about knowing the return policy. It is important that you know the return policy so you know the parameters in which you can return the bag. We also talked about inspecting the bag. Because if you leave it all in the packaging on your shelf, you can't expect it. We've talked about making sure you carry the bag, because that's when if something's going to happen, it's going to happen within that time period of the return policy. And then last but not least, make sure you buy the largest bag that will work for you. Now, I'm sure there's some additional comments or some additional tips that others out there can offer you. So please, guys, please feel free to leave your comments down below. I welcome that, because we are all here together. We're a learning community, and we learn from each other. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.